Hi, my name is Nala. I am a senior strategic legal management communications major and a public relations concentration Swahili minor studying at the illustrious Howard University. I'm originally from Philly, but now I live out in the DMV and I DJ. I am a co-founder of the Fearless Dreamers, a full-service entertainment company started here at Howard. And I do a few other things too. I write a little, sing a little, I'm learning a couple of instruments. So yes, I do a little bit of everything. And today I just wanted to talk to you all about something that I personally have been struggling with in my life for a long time. Not that long, I'm only 23 years old, but imagine, I've been struggling for a good amount of my years. And I've been struggling with habits, There's good habits and there's bad habits. And the habits I want to talk to you guys today about is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Stephen Covey. And actually, there's a teen version, which I just found today, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, written by his son, Sean Covey. And I like what I read from both books. But I want to focus on the habits. We're going to start with the first one. To be proactive, which means you're taking responsibility for your life. And for me, I feel like there are a lot of moments where I have felt like I've allowed others to have control over my own actions, even if it's, they don't directly do it. In my mind, I might think I'm doing something for myself, but in actuality, I'm doing something because I think this is what that person wants, So I feel like that happens often. And something I realize I have to do is really be in control of my own actions, be in control of what I want to do. So if there's something out there that I need to get done, I need to be proactive about it. I need to think about how I can get this done without worrying about outside forces, and to something that the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, the first page, he talks about the highly defective or the highly defective teen, which is, all the opposites of the good habits. So it's all the bad habits. So the opposite to be proactive would be to just react. Something I'm really bad with is just reacting. So let's say something happens. First instinct I have is to react. But to be proactive would be more to sit back and think about the actions that you're about to take and that you're about to make, and then taking those actions. Next, number 2 is begin with the end in mind. In Stephen Covey's book, he talks about think about that moment when your family's getting ready for your funeral, Think about that day when somebody has to read off your eulogy. What do you want that to say? You have to begin with the end in mind. So all your actions that you take, you have to think, what do I want the end outcome to look like? And the opposite of that would be to begin with no end in mind. So I feel like there have been times in life where I didn't think about the end outcome, but instead I just took action. So sometimes you have to move with a plan. Have a plan. Lay it out. See what you want to do and get it done. Number 3, put first things first. I really struggle with this one. I feel like this is probably my worst one. I'll have all these things to do, and it's so hard for me to prioritize what's most important. And let's say I have a gig in 7 days. I have schoolwork due tomorrow. I have something due for work 4 days away. I have all these things I have to do. And I've seen it happen so many times. I'll just sit and I know that I have schoolwork due tomorrow, but I'll sit on my computer and I'll get my regular work done. Or I'll sit in my computer and think about the mix I'm about to make. Or I'll just play on my phone, you know? I don't put the things that are most important first. And oftentimes, you know, I have to remind myself, like, get back on your grind. You have to remember what's most important in this moment. And in that scenario, school would have been most important. So I should be prepping for that work that's due tomorrow rather than worrying about a gig that's a whole week away. Worry about what's due tomorrow. So the opposite of putting first things first is putting first things last, which, like I said, I have definitely done that. Number 4 is think win-win versus think win-lose. So for this one, I really like this one because I think this is one of the habits that I've really started to see myself use more out of all of the other ones. So with think win-win, you're trying to think about how can I win in a situation, but also how can you win in this situation. So let's say I want to work for a company. So you got to think win-win. How can I be an asset to you? Let me think about all the things I have to offer. Well, I DJ. I can market for you. I can create videos for you. Shoot, I could do a photo shoot for you. I can do a whole creative, strategy plan for you. But other than that, I can reach out to press. I have all these things to offer. Now, what can you offer me? Something I'm looking for in this company. I'm looking for exposure. I'm looking for a network, and I'm looking for a decent salary. So you have to think about how you can gain from someone, but also how they can gain from you. Look at the qualities that you have within yourself that you have to offer, and look at what they have to offer you, and see how y'all can come together to think win-win. And to think win-lose would mean you're only thinking about yourself. You're only thinking about how can I win in this situation, or how can I win and this other person lose. Number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. I'm going to say it again. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now this one, I definitely can say is one that I'm really getting right now, because I feel like I always have moments where I might miss things or I might not understand the situation. And in those situations, it just means you need to listen to understand, most people listen just to listen, but you have to listen to understand. What is this person saying to you? And then after you understand what they're trying to say, then you can relay what you're trying to say. And then the opposite of that would be seek first to talk, then pretend like you're listening. Now, I can say I've definitely been in this situation where I just talk and I just want to talk. You know, sometimes you have so much you want to say, but sometimes it's okay to breathe and listen to what somebody else has to say, because that can help you better understand the situation. Number 6 is synergize. So synergize means to work together, to work together to achieve more. When there's synergy in a group, y'all can get anything done. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So the other day, my aunt threw a surprise birthday party for my other aunt, for her sister. And when I say my family is we had some real nice synergy that day, because she asked me to create I offered to create a playlist, because I didn't know if I would be able to make the event because, safety precautions, but I created a playlist. So I sent over the playlist, somebody set it up. Then when we got there, it's like everybody grabbed a position. I end up serving, my brother was serving, her son was serving, my mom was in the kitchen helping out. We had people helping fix up the tables, but everything got done without anybody asking, without anything, without anybody directing. Things just got done. People asked, does anything need to get done? And then that person took up that position. And that's synergy. When people can just come together and make something beautiful happen. And the opposite of synergize would be it says don't cooperate, basically. And that means not working together. If you have a problem to solve and you have all these people that have the pieces to the puzzle, you should want to get all those pieces to the puzzle to solve that problem, right? So it's best to synergize rather than to not cooperate. And lastly is sharpen the saw. So sharpen the saw means to renew yourself regularly. I feel like this one I am good at, but I can always become better at this one. And sharpen the saw basically means you need to replenish. After you go through your habits and you're improving yourself and you're working on being a better person, you need to make sure you're also renewing the knowledge you intake, renewing the wisdom you intake, renewing the positivity that you're bringing in, and always bring in this goodness to help replenish your mind, to replenish your body, to replenish all of you. And so the opposite of sharpen the saw would be to wear yourself out. So people who do that are people who are super busy, will just let themselves get burnt out. And I've been this person many times before. I remember there was a time, it's my sophomore year, I was vice president of the chapel assistants. I was communications branding director of Spotlight Network. I was Miss Low Hall. I was taking 18 credits. And I would join the step team all at once, or all in the same year. And I also was doing service events, and this is actually when Fearless Dreamers originally started, with my first couple of events that I did by myself. And I was wearing myself out. There was a point where I got so sick that I started to just lose so much weight, and I just was so unhealthy, and I had to renew myself. You know, I had to sharpen my saw. So I actually ended up fasting, and I would read a lot. I would work out, and I finally like cleansed and healed and got myself strong again. And I finished off really strong because I actually finished with my best grade point average ever that year. And you know, sometimes you have to heal to finish the things off that you're trying to accomplish. And that is the 7 habits of highly effective people. But I just want you guys to take away that I know school is about to start and you're probably stressed out. There's a lot going on and you don't know what to do. You feel like things are out of your control and you feel like, what's next? Well, it's up to you. You have to be proactive. You have to begin with the end in mind. You have to put first things first. You have to think win-win. You have to seek first to understand. You have to synergize and make sure you sharpen the saw. And I promise you that you will have a successful school year, a successful semester, and a successful year. And everything I'm saying to you all, I'm going to also work at it myself. And I hope you all tell me about your journeys in becoming better or becoming, you know, growing within yourself and having better habits. My name is NXXJ, and you can follow me at IAMNXXJ. Thank you. And thank you to the Do It Now movement. Please make sure you donate. We're going to make sure we get some supplies to all the kids going back to school. We have about 350 bags we're trying to fill, so make sure you all donate. Thank you for watching.